Boss.
Andoni Iraola joins us. Thank you very much for joining us. At the end of that, what did you make of it?
It's not the result you wanted before the game, but obviously finishing, scoring in the last minute, it gives you a better taste probably. I don't think we deserve to lose the game today, and I value the effort from the players. They never gave up, and at the end it arrived and we could recover at least 1 point.
So you didn't think you deserved to lose it? Do you think you deserved to win it, or was that about a fair result for you?
I think I'm sure, I haven't looked at the stats, but I'm sure we will have more chances, more everything.
You did, yeah.
It's a little bit unfair in terms that they've gone winning very early, so they will say, okay, it was our turn to attack, and then it's conditioned, but overall definitely I think we've had the better chances in the game, yes.
Well, I'm going to tell you, your XG was 2.73 and theirs was 1.43. You said in your interview you don't buy too much into XG. I actually agree with you on that. But did it feel like a 2.73 XG to you during the game?
I think we were arriving. We were probably in the first half. We were not finishing anything. We were having a lot of balls on the edge, and we were trying to overplay a little bit, and we had just to shoot. Even the first goal we conceded, I think Ryan is in a great position to shoot. Great edge of the box, finish play. We don't finish it, and then they punish us in the counter.
You said in one of your interviews about first half and second half, the intensity in the first half. You want to see that in the second half. Is that what you saw today?
Yes, I think the players coming from the bench gave us energy. I don't know if they played better, worse, but they gave us energy. And you can feel, the way we want to play, everyone is not going to last 90 minutes. So we need this energy from the ones coming from the bench, and I think today it happened.
And you know, this is a difficult place to come. Obviously, the occasion was incredible today, and you're a manager who's to me seems as if you're flexible and adaptable to the players you have. And I listened to again about resting in possession, and wanting to almost control the game that way. In regards to the counter-attacks today, with the control you had, because your possession was 61%, did you feel as if you almost had that control that you would have liked to have seen? Was there maybe moments where you would have liked the players to be a bit more aggressive in stopping counter-attacks, maybe making fouls or whatever it may be?
Yeah, definitely. I think when you concede 2 goals, I think overall we played a lot in their half. I think we had good possessions, good moments of long phases of us on the ball. That is what we want. But I think first one is probably more difficult to defend because it's basically Elanga going all the way, super fast player. Probably the mistake is more in we should have finished because we were in a great position to finish the play. The second one, I think we had the numbers and we don't, as you say, probably a foul, probably a because we had the numbers to defend that transition. We've been talking even half time, but sometimes you have to finish the play, try to win the ball or make a foul, and probably it's more difficult to accept. The first one, okay, is great run, it's difficult to defend it. Probably the mistake comes from not finishing the play.
When you concede goals on the counter-attack like that, is that a personnel situation where you have so many players who are offensive thinking and want to get there, or is that just learning to be a little bit more disciplined, or is that a personnel issue and you need something different in your midfield? I
think it was probably we talked about Newcastle. They're, if not the fastest in the league, will be second or third, and it's a big threat. And we've been talking all the way, preparing all the week, and it's true. We have to finish more plays. I think we were trying to overdo too much in the first phase, and in the second one, I think we had the numbers and we don't defend properly. And also, we have to give credit to them because it's not easy goals that they scored.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us, Andoni.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Go well.
Thank you.
Football last season under Arne Slot were late goals. Would you have given this if you were Stuart Atwell?
I mean, late in the game, look, a penalty is a penalty. Lewis Hall's very unlucky, but when the ball goes in there, he does catch him. And Manozu does really well. He tries to anticipate where he's going to go, and then he just leaves his leg in there. You just see it here that he just tries to anticipate, but it's too late. And yes, it's harsh. Yeah, a lot of people will be saying this is not a penalty, but if you see there, he catches his knee. It's knee on knee. It's a foul. It's a penalty.
It's knee on knee, isn't it? He's shifted his body to the side, and he's got a little knock on him. And of course, as the attacker, any little touch you get when you're going at pace and you're jinking and you're jiving, it's going to put you off balance, and thoroughly deserved penalty if you ask me.
It's easy to say with the hindsight of slow motion stuff, but Harvey Barnes was probably getting back on the...
He was
going to cover on the outside. But I mean, that's very easy to say, isn't it, with the slow motion replay?
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those where he was beaten, and it looks like he could have got in there. But once that's happened, it stopped him. He's in his stride, isn't he? Munoz there, so maybe he would have got in front anyway. It's easy to look now and say he would have covered round, but it was definitely a penalty.
Let's just take a look at Dominic Szoboszlai's penalty technique. When you look at his career penalty record, you know where it's going, don't you, Daniel? But it's unstoppable.
Literally unstoppable. The way in which he strikes the ball is pure. Guides it, but with power. And I think that is one of the hardest things to do. Get connection on the ball consistently and put it in a place. The only player I can ever remember training with like that consistently would put it in the exact spot. Players from Chelsea would know. Kalu at training would always hit the top corner in training, and you can see with Szoboszlai. And it's not a case of going, I'm changing for the keeper. I think in today's time, you get your statistics. Hey, look, the keeper dives this way. They get the statistics, and they'll know that Szoboszlai goes that way. He doesn't care. I've got the ability. I trust my ability. I'm putting it where I want to put it.
As soon as Hall made the tackle, did you know that was a penalty?
Well, I did fear it was going to be a penalty. I mean, it was a very hopeless, not hopeless, just a hopeful ball really up top, wasn't it? He picks up the ball, Munoz, and he runs at Lewis Hall. And again, I just think it's a rush. But I mean, Atwell, the referee, gave it some time before he blew the whistle to point to the spot. But you can see here clearly, he comes across him, his knee on knee. But when you look at that, I don't know what Eisler and that were looking at on the bench, but it's a clear penalty for me. I think he blocks him off. You know, I think it's... Maybe Lewis is in the last minute, just loses he's where he is in the pitch. But again, for what I said before, Harvey Barnes is coming to help him as well. You know what I mean? He's just running to Harvey Barnes, and it's just... You can't blame the player for going down. But Michael says, and of course Szoboszlai himself speaks about the pressure and the noise at St James's Park. That is as emphatic a penalty as you'll see all season.
And he is the captain of Hungary, he takes them for them, but he's only ever taken one in the Premier League and he missed it against the Bar.
It's mad the way it goes as well, and he says no penalties in pre-season either, so he's had to work on it in training. We were just sort of talking off air about should Isak step up and take the penalty. He's paid 125 million for your number 9, but against Szoboszlai, you mentioned, for his country and for his club, he's the penalty taker. So again, but imagine if Isak had stepped up, what the atmosphere would have been like, and what the pressure would have been on his shoulders. But you can't take nothing away from Dominic Szoboszlai. That's a brilliant penalty.
And he has scored, and it was a brilliant penalty. But Shea has a point, doesn't he? When you pay 125 million for a number 9, who, by the way, scored 11 penalties out of 12 for Newcastle, there will be some Liverpool fans expecting Isak to step up and take that.
And I'm sure he would have taken the responsibility if that was bestowed upon him. The hard thing, if you're a penalty taker, go into a new club, if there's already a penalty taker there, it's hard.
But there hasn't been, has there? Because it was Mo Salah.
It was, yeah. But, you know, I know Szoboszlai's only scored one... Sorry, he's only taken 1 in the Premier League, but I think he's taken 5 overall and scored 4, missed 1. So he is well used to doing it, and he is the designated penalty taker for Liverpool. Now, we can get to a stage whereby, you know, if Isak had said, no, I want to take it, then you get into those arguments that we've seen over the years. So I think whoever's designated as the penalty taker before the game, you have to stick to it. We speak about the pressure. Imagine the pressure on Isak if he had taken it. I mean, we're doubling it, aren't we? Yeah. In a stadium where, you know, he's going to be booed anyway. The pressure would have been immense on him. So, yeah, I think unless Szoboszlai misses a penalty, then it's probably they're his for the near future.
It's a fascinating subject, this, isn't it? Because it just differs from club to club and team to team on how the penalties are dished out. Because actually, I haven't told you, they haven't had a chance. Danny Murphy said to me in the summer he scored one once at Old Trafford, Danny, and he didn't really, and he took it and scored it. Now that doesn't seem to happen in the modern game, does it? It's a designated penalty taker from either the manager or within the group.
We used to have a strange one. Gerard Houllier used to say if you're fouled for the penalty, he doesn't want you getting up and taking it.
Well, that might have been the case
as well.
That
was probably possibly the case.
Yeah.
And he, you know, and that was sort of his rule.
So that's a completely different rule, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody has a different rule, and as I say, you know, there have been occasions in recent times whereby players have taken it into their own hands, and then they start arguing, and then the captain has to come in, and then there's, you know, arguments and whatever, and it's not a good look. So I think whoever is designated to take the penalty, it's right and proper that they take it. And obviously Isak took them for Newcastle, but if he wasn't the penalty taker today, then it is only right. And we could be arguing about this if Szoboszlai had missed, but as he scored, then I don't think anyone will complain.
But the other side of it is the Newcastle goalkeeper, with Salah gone, might well have expected Isak to take that today and been studying Isak.
Yeah, true, because as you said, it was Salah last season. I mean, I'd like to get inside Alexander Isak's head. What's he thinking at this point? Because you talk about when Newcastle is 25 goals a season, that's what Liverpool have signed. Now, if you take penalties out of that, then you're going to be down to like a lot less goals than that. So Alexander would have loved to take the penalty, I'm sure. You know, takes it for free, takes it for his country. You know, why can't he take it for Liverpool? And again, we've worked with other people like Alan Shearer. I don't think Alan would pass it on to, when he joined Newcastle, the penalty taker before he joined that. He would step up and go, I'm taking the penalty. So it'd be interesting to see how Alex's thoughts are, or not just today, but just in general at Liverpool for the remainder of the season. Is Szoboszlai going to take every single penalty, or will Isak, not be happy with that?